Hey everybody, welcome to this Market Minute. We're about 2 weeks out from the launch of the high seas. Official launch was last week at Nats. We're back from Nats in Vegas, and the national season around the world is just starting to pick up. And let me tell you, high seas is making an impact. So we're looking at some high seas cards. We also got a hunted card in there that we're doing a little checkup on. We looked at it in April. We're going to look at it again today. So let's jump into it. First one up is the Diamond Amulet. If you pay attention at all, this card was all over the internet. People are abuzz about it. Right now, sitting at $85 for the non-foil. Obviously, there is only a non-foil version of this. And then the 1 of 100 Marvel. 3-month high-low. The low sitting at $22 to start. The high, $189. The thing with these cards is they are very short printed. Since they are legendary, you can only have one in your deck. And there's 9 of them. It's pretty hard to get a specific one, and when you're looking for just the amulet, diamond, or ruby, right, that really affects the pull rates on these cards. And we saw this one spike up to 189 this week. There were 16 sold on 613. So that's a lot of sell through on one day. Just taking a look at how this all shook out, how it got to 189. We're back down to that $85. Now, if you watched our tier list, Nate and I weren't very high on these, and we did say a couple of them had possibly some play, including this one. But I don't know if I see this one staying at $85, guys. I would be careful on these. We only got 20 on TCG Player right now, which is not bad considering it is a one of in the deck. Some gravies run it, some gravies don't. So keep an eye on this one. Me personally, I wouldn't be buying at $85 for my collection. All right, and the next card here is Sea Legs. We're looking at $9.80 for the low, $15 for the rainbow foil. 3-month high-low. This one dropped down to $2.90. Wow. The high, $17.74. Inventory, 54 non-foils, 19 rainbow foils on this one. So not super thin on the non-foils. This card, I think, hasn't really found its place yet. Again, on the tier list, Nate and I were probably pretty high on this card. But just watching the Calling Bologna today and the gravy that was the top of the class most of the event, we're running these to great effect in getting those Gold Kiss rums. So maybe gravy decks, as the 80 starts to coalesce into that final form, we see Sea Legs in there, and then that's something worth paying attention to, because $8.90 isn't really going to hold if every gravy deck needs 3 of these. So keep an eye on this one for now. Maybe pick up your copies if you don't have them. All right, another big card from High Seas, the Riches from the Tropodani. Yeah, the Fabled. We got to talk about it. Currently, rainbow foil sitting at $364.95. High low. The low got down just under $250. The high $400. This card is generic. Multiple decks want to be playing this. There's 16 on TCG Player right now. We know that there is confirmed no cold foil on this one, but the pull rate was increased on the rainbow foil. I think we're just seeing a lot of people wanting to play this. Multiple heroes, if it be a Kasai or a Victor. I think even I saw a Prism at Bologna playing this card. There's a lot of pull on this card. I personally, I'm going to wait around a little bit on this one, see where it settles out. A lot of product is going to be getting opened in the next couple weeks, and it'll be interesting to see what decks actually want to run this all the time, depending if some of the Pirates want to run it or not, if Gravy wants to run it. Again, in and out of Gravy decks as far as I can tell right now. So keep an eye on this one. I think at 364, I'm going to wait a little bit and see where this one shakes out. All right, the next card here is Unicycle, the cold foil version from the treasure packs, currently sitting at $39.99. The low, we saw $1 on this card. The high, $40. There's currently 3 on TCG Player. And that low is why I want to talk about this card, because one thing that's very interesting about these treasure packs, they move the cold foil commons into those treasure packs. And it seems like these cold foil commons are very hard pulls. And realistically, I think we got a little bit of price memory on that $1 low and some of those lower sale prices. Commons generally have been pretty low dollar cards. You find them 1 per box and you move on, and some are not playable, some are playable, and that affects the value a little bit. But with this treasure pack, we did see a quite a shift in pull rate on these in the treasure pack. So Unicycle is a very played card in Puffin. It's almost the default legs for her, getting that instant ability to bring that cog back up, and then you can tap it again for cards like Palantir and Sky Warden to get that extra defense value. Very strong indeed. So keep an eye on this one. Keep an eye on the commons in general. The old knocker, I believe, is looked at as well as a playable common. Again, very hard to pull, so keep an eye on those. All right, we can't talk about high seas without CNC, the new card Conqueror of the high seas. Currently sitting at $39.99 for the non-foil, $42.20 for the rainbow foil. 3-month high low, $33 is the low. High is $75. Currently 215 non-foils on TCG Player. That is a lot. We also got 83 rainbow foils. Now, this card is very interesting to watch. I think this card is on the power level of Felling. But without Felling, you have 3 heroes that can play 3 of these, and I think the card is strong enough with 8 power and go again that I think all 3 pirates would want to play this, or at least consider some number of them. So where this one shakes out, being under $50 is really interesting. I think that quantity tells you what you need to know. This card does seem to be pulled quite frequently. I can see it going down a little bit more, especially at 215, right? That's a lot of sell through before that price can go back up. The final note is that 83 rainbow foils, you see it right now, $42 to $39, just almost like a $2.20 difference there. There are multiple versions of this. You got the gold version in the treasure packs. You also have the EA version given out to Nats players as well. So, that rainbow foil version is going to be quite depressed. And there's not a lot of room for it to go upward, because if you're going to bring out your deck, you're going to want to get that EA or that gold foil. And our last card, Quick Dodge Flexors. Not a high seas card, but as I mentioned at the top of the episode, wanted to go back and look at this one. We looked at this one in April when it was $65, and I believe I looked at it on purpose to let everybody know, hey, you want to grab a pair of these. They're a strong ability, and here we are. I saw multiple gravies playing this card. It's quite strong. Currently, rainbow foil sitting at 110. Cold foil sitting at $185.99. We got 15 rainbow foils sitting on TCG Player. We got 13 cold foils. Again, that 3-month high low, we're sitting 66 is the low, 129 is the high. So we're sitting up towards that high water mark. But I think with these being generic, you're going to want to see it. New just LL. Guardian's going to come back, and especially Guardian Mastery Pack too, right? Guardian's going to love this card. You're telling me you can take a blue and turn a bunch of your block 3s into block 4s as you move this down the chain link for 1 resource? Yeah, that sounds like a Guardian's dream. And you can see from that chart too that we're just steadily going up. These card is going to be a de facto staple in the generic leg spot. But that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. I'll check you next time. Peace.